Today in the studio we have Tobias. He is a construction worker who is specialized in making metal staircases. Hi, Tobias. Tobias, how are you?
Hi, Leonard. Hi, I'm very fine, thanks.
Yes, can you introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yes, first of all, I'm very thankful to be here and to speak about my job a little bit. So, like you said, I'm Tobias Knokkaert. I was born and raised in Bruges. I'm 33 years old. I have a girlfriend and also a daughter, Millie, who's born 9 months ago. I was playing soccer in the past a lot in my youth, and still I'm a very active sporter, like mountain biking, kite surfing, all these thrilling things. And already when I was very young, I seemed to be passionate about technology. My parents told me. I was playing with screwdrivers in the workshop from my dad, and I was making various machines, constructions with leftovers, nails, screws, anything I could find. I then studied science, maths in the middle school, and later on I was going to Kortrijk to become industrial designer. After these 4 years, I still had like the hunger to know more, and I continued my studies in Ghent as an electromechanical engineer. In these studies I discovered 3D a lot because it was a tool to create and design and do things and to visualize ideas. Later, after school, I went to become an employee for 2 years. And then I became self-employed because I was looking for something to do myself. And now I'm running a small company with 4 other colleagues where we design, produce and install tailor-made steel staircases. In the region of Bruges. And we are using 3D software, 3D scanning all the time for that.
So it's like a whole path that you followed to get to this point where you use 3D techniques really in your job as a necessary tool?
Yes. I was interested by making things myself, like I said, but also with 3D tools. And if you combine them, you can create unique things. So in the job I'm doing now, which at first doesn't look very high sophisticated because it's making steel staircases, welding and so on. But in fact, there is a lot of engineering and calculations and drawing and 3D tools that are necessary to do that in a proper way.
So it's really an important tool. Is it possible to do your job without the 3D techniques for the moment?
Well, they have been making steel staircases for over 1,000 years, I think. So it is possible, yes. But steel staircases is more difficult at first. And what would have taken like, 2 months in the past, you can do in a day now with the technology. So it's necessary.
So if we talk about the 3D technologies that you use, I presume it is 3D scanning that you do before you make the staircase. So how does that work in your branch of making stairs?
That's true. Not only it is faster to do it with 3D scanning, it's also more precise, and you can measure things that are almost impossible to measure with a tape or a laser or whatever. You have all these points that are imported in your software in the cloud, and you just can draw your staircase in the point cloud. If you have like a little hole in the wall, you have anything that's in the way, you can just see it. So you use a point cloud as a scanning method. And do you see that there is, over the years, that it's changed a lot? So for how many years are you 3D scanning before you draw the staircases? Let's say that there's like a big steep stepping curve to get into 3D scanning because it's very costly. I mean, a scanner is like €50,000
for the machine itself.
For the machine itself,
Yeah,
and then you have various software packages that are needed, and a computer and whatever, and you also need the workflow knowledge. So it's like not everyone's gonna use the 3D scanning.
Yeah.
You really need to be sure that you're gonna use it.
The financial investment that you need. Yeah.
You have less precise 3D scanning methods that are way cheaper, but in fact you cannot use them in staircase building because you need an accuracy of several millimeters. But if you have 10 or 20 millimeters accuracy, it's not enough.
It's not enough. So you can. So the financial investment is necessary for the moment to get a good enough scan to use.
For now it is. You can rent scanning services as well, but we use it all the time. If we go to a new customer and he wants a new staircase, we are taking the scanner with us and already scanning the space before he agrees with the quote, you know, because in any way we already have the space.
So we talked about the financial investment, but there is also like the knowledge investment that you need to do. So how difficult is it to learn the 3D scanning method in the metal branch industry?
Let's say that it comes from the building industry. So it's only since a couple of years that people are using it in furniture or metal design. And the workflows, there's not one single workflow because in the building industry they are using other types of software than in the metal industry. So you need a software package that is compatible with the point clouds, and still then you need to have like a very critical look at these point clouds and information, because you still need to make things, you know. If the wall isn't straight, you cannot make a curved beam. You need to make a straight beam that fits against the curved wall. A little bit curved. I mean, so you need to compromise.
So you need to compromise, and you still need to think.
You need to think a lot. It's
so
not
it's not
that
just
simple.
making a scan and it will fix itself.
Handling the software is one thing, but you need to be very critic about what you're doing as well. So this knowledge is mainly experience, and it's not something that you can learn from a book or look up in the internet. Because there they will describe how to use the software.
But not how to think critically. That's a very interesting point. But before you started your own company, you followed like several studies. Did that help with your 3D experience, or?
For the 3D scanning, they didn't teach us how to use a terrestrial scanner, which is the one we are using, mainly because of the cost. We used more like the little scanners to scan little products, and from there on the principles are a bit the same. You can use the point cloud or mesh to reverse engineer something. And on the other hand, on the 3D drawing software, we had a very, I would say, decent education about that. It was in Siemens and X, I think, but all 3D software are a bit alike. So there are some evolutions in these softwares, but to me there aren't any big. I haven't seen any big changes in the last 10 years.
So no big changes, but do you think that with what you do, that you are like one of the first to do it this way? Or do you see that this is already an embedded technique used in the staircase building industry?
I would say in the metal industry in general, the companies who make tailor-made things for homes, like doors, stairs, and so on, there is a shift towards 3D scanning, but again, because of the high costs, not everybody is doing it. Only the bigger firms are the ones that are really specialized in things. But I think the price of the scanners will lower, and it will be more accessible for everyone. And you also see that the newer generation is very eager to use these technologies, but the older ones, they stick with the old methods. And that's a big difference. I mean,
So, and do you think it is important for the next generation to learn the new way and the old way?
I think they are both needed because you need to embrace new technologies to further enhance your production processes. But you also need the knowledge of making things and doing things with your hands. And to be a good designer, you need to make things. So I think the focus should be on both. We really need, I think, computerized skilled craftsmen.
So like the old way combined with the new computer way.
We shouldn't think that it's like a computer game. Because in the end, you make products and they have to be installed and they have to be made, so they need to fit. And if it's okay on the computer but it doesn't work in reality, then you're nothing with it.
So we just need to see it as an extra tool in our
it's an extension, of course. And of course there is a little bit of shift of work that goes from the workshop to the computer, because you can, for instance, drill a hole, but you can also draw it and laser it. And the second thing is faster, much faster. So you eliminate this on the workshop and you do it on the computer. So we will need more people that are on the computer and less in the workshop, I think.
But still, the persons who work on the computer should still know how to drill a hole in a metal staircase.
Of course.
So that they understand what they are drawing. So that's again an interesting opinion or way to think. Is it cheaper when you use 3D scans to make a chair? Like in general, if you don't think about the investment cost of the 3D scanner, does it become economically more interesting to use a point cloud system to design the staircase instead of measuring everything?
It depends on how many projects you have in a year. If you only have one, then it's not worth the investment. But I think in general, if you have a company that does a lot of things, it's definitely worth it. You should do it, I think. And next to the economical side, there is like an ecological side where we want to think about in the future. Is it better for the planet that we first like design better the staircases and then made it? Are there less mistakes when we do it this way? I wouldn't say it saves a lot of material. That would be too optimistic, I think. But it reduces the risk of errors, of course. And that's a very interesting fact and points on different side views. I mean, ecologically, but also economically.
So because you draw it on the computer first, the chance that somebody made a mistake is
reduced. Of course.
And if there is a mistake, it's more easy to fix when you draw it on a computer, or.
I think that's a bit the same, but the thing is, you can completely design the product on the computer, and you only need to go once to the installment site to install it. In the past, 100 years ago, I don't know, people went on site and made the things on site, returned to home, adapted, again went to site. There was a lot of going and stuff.
Going back and forth.
Back and forth to get it done.
So that's cool to do it this way now. So do you have any tips for young people who want to start a business like yours? What tips would you give them when they want to start this way?
I would advise them to make things. Go to the scrapyard and grab some wooden planks or metal and start making little things. That's the main thing from the moment you're very young. And I think the 3D skills and so on, they follow in school.
So so they have to be interested, and then everything will follow the things that they need to learn to do this will come.
I think 3D technology is more accessible than a little workshop where you can do things in these times.
Yeah. So just go to the scrapyard, make something funny, something nice. All right. Is there a place where people can follow your work?
We are on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook. Staff Creative Metalworks is our page, and there you can have a look in our processes, also the people behind stuff, and also a lot about 3D technology. We often share our workflows, point clouds, installs, and so on.
Yeah, so they can see the whole process from 3D scanning to drawing to installation.
We really try to show this to our customers too, because they get involved and they are also very interested.
Yeah.
How are they gonna make this?
Yeah.
People want an answer to this question.
Yeah.
And we try to show them. Yeah. If they see from their own staircase, they are involved from the start.
And do you think they choose your company for this reason, that they are?
I think they choose us because we are very flexible and we are really doing things very tailor-made. Yeah, we have good communications and we have an honest product. Yeah, and we try to show this honesty by showing how we work.
Yeah. Okay, those are very interesting. A very interesting story. I think. Is there a last opinion about 3D techniques that you want to share with the world?
I wrote it down here. It's like the vision of the future. I think that skilled craftsmen will be needed for a long time, because AI, which is very hyped now, will be an assistant for workers and 3D technology. But I don't think they will be able to replace a very flexible asset like a person who does things with their hands and move things. There is not a company that's making a humanoid robot who can do that. Yeah. And I think it will take a long time before that this will happen. Technologically, it's like the hardest thing to make to me. Yeah.
So to you, it is more important to have a skilled craftsman who knows about these things than a computer designer who only can draw things on the computer.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So in your opinion, we should have craftsmen that we learn these new tools, instead of the other way around.
We shouldn't definitely not forget about the skill to make things.
Yes. I think I only can applaud this opinion. So I hope we could inspire the listeners today with your story.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming in today, and good luck with your next project and all the projects that will follow.
It was nice to be here.
Yes, thank you, Tobias. I'll see you next time, maybe.